Good afternoon. It's EMS Automotive, manufacturers of sheet metal for the 1957-58 Ford cars. That's it, 57-58 Ford. What we're going to talk today about is the infamous Ranchero. And we're going to talk about how it was built, how Ford did it, and what products EMS Automotive has for the 57 Ford Ranchero. We're going to take a brief overview of the body as the cameraman looks around at it, and then I'm going to start to explain the differences. Now, as we know, the Ranchero is a pickup truck. The design started in Australia as the Ute, where they converted the car into a pickup truck. Eventually, by 1957, Ford decided it was going to be part of their new 57 Ford line. We're going to look at the construction of how the Ranchero was made. And there's the rumors that says it started life as a design theory of a two-door station wagon with the roof cut off and a pickup bed put in. So we're going to show you how Ford did that. And what we're going to take a look is we're going to come to the inside of the car. We're going to see the front floor pan area as a typical 57 Ford. So you're going to have your 57 Ford front end. So your toe boards, your floor pans, drive shaft tunnel, all of this is standard 57 Ford. As you can see, it has the typical 57 Ford floor pan rust, which means most of it's gone. And later on we'll come back and we're going to show you how the EMS parts fit into here and what's going on. But we see the typical front floor pan with the driver's seat about here. And coming in over here is this rear floor pan area we have this part, it is a sedan. It's a little bit different because of this header here. I had to step around the cameraman. This piece here is the end of the cab. So it cuts short the rear floor pan, but the rear floor pan actually extends behind this piece, so we're going to show you that later. So they took this two-door wagon, cut the roof off, added these pieces to make your standard pickup truck cab. Okay, so you had the back window, you had this is your pickup bed. You can see the dents from some freight and stuff. Your spare tire was mounted over there behind the seat. And we have the typical rocker panel rust, just like the 57 Ford. Standard sedan quarter panels are used on the bottom, so we have the front and the back that like we're talking about, okay? We're going to take a break a little bit. We're going to get up high, and we're going to look inside to see how this pickup bed was built for the 57 Ford Ranchero. Okay, we're back. We're up on ladders. The cameraman's all sweaty because he's up high over here. Okay, EMS Automotive, we're talking about how the 57 Ford Ranchero was constructed. We looked at the cab. We came back. We looked at the cab. As you can see, they started life with a two-door station wagon, cut the roof off. Okay, here again, this is the other side where you see the cab wall. Okay, and they put their window in there and they made the roof, and this is where the actually back station wagon window was. I'll take our sign out of the way for the second here. And you have, this is your standard pickup floor bed, okay? And wheel wells, all this, a lot of this is standard 57 Ford stuff. Some of it's unusual. So they cut the roof off. They used the tailgate from the wagon. They used this is a unique Ranchero piece. This is the wheel tub is standard. Any wheel tub from 57 Ford will work. Although the Rancheros do rust out here all the time because of the water. And you have a little filler panel here where they get to the back of the tail lights on each side. This one, as you've seen, is fairly rusty, standard 57 Ford. The floor bed is pretty good. We swept it out a little bit. And so you look at the different pieces. You know, you got your cab wall, your sides, this is for the cargo. And you got your tailgate. Okay, we're back. EMS Automotive. We're talking about 57, 58 Ford Rancheros. Take the sign out of the way. And you know, EMS Automotive is based out of Detroit, Michigan, the home of the auto industry. We make all of our own products here in Michigan. No Chinese tin and we have all the engineering capabilities of any other auto company. Okay, what we've done is we've removed the load floor from the Ranchero, and it bolted in. As back to the theory that this was a two-door station wagon with the roof cut off, we can see underneath the load floor there is a spare tire well for the station wagon, although totally unusable for a Ranchero because it's not practical to unbolt the floor pan. And as we go around, we see the riser over the axle, spare tire well, this massive hidden compartment where the back seat would be in a station wagon. This car set, as you can see, is quite rusty, but this area back here is in awfully good shape as far as cars go. But as you see, this is a unique to station wagons and Rancheros. This is a Ranchero only piece because the seat was here, and you're looking at how they just that's your header piece, part of the cab wall there that was welded in to create a cab. And we go back and we have a normal tailgate. The window track on the two-door wagon was filled in with a Ranchero chrome strip that we no longer have. I'm going to go to the back of the vehicle where you have a standard tailgate that closes, and that's how, and I'll open it back up. And this is a normal two-door station wagon tailgate. It's got a special chrome trim piece on it, so you can use it as a tailgate. So you put your stuff on there. So this is normal. We're off the ladders. This is the back end, typical 57 Ford Ranchero look with the car tail lights. Okay. 57 Ford does have a unique tail pan. Ask EMS Automotive. We'll be having that soon for you. Here's your tailgate, real nice. This has a real nice tailgate. Yeah, it makes a horrible sound. We oiled it up a little bit. But here from the end, you come in there, and the cameraman will get in there. You can see the typical, we were talking about before, with the station wagon floor hidden under the cargo bed. It's an interesting way they did it. It made a lot of different bodies with just a few simple changes. So this is how the Ranchero looks. These pieces are kind of bolted and welded in. These are the most rusting, but they're available too. So this is the look, and now we're going to go back to the front, and we're going to show you how the EMS panels fit the car and what the quality we have it. Okay, we're back. We're off. Now we're in the section of the Ford 5758 Ford Rancheros, EMS Automotive products. We're talking about now how our floor pans and rockers and stuff will fit the rusty Ranchero. That's a great name. But anyways, Ford Ranchero, EMS Automotive. Just a reminder, we make all of our parts in Detroit. We use brand new automotive steel. You're not going to get shipped any rusty parts or anything damaged. Gets damaged in shipping, that's our problem. We'll send you another part, we got plenty. What we're going to start with is, we got parts all over the place. We got the front door post here, okay? Obviously, that's where they rust. It's the end of the rocker panel. It's the door post, and there's an interconnection point. It gets rusty. It has a lot of stress because of the doors. What we have, what EMS manufactures, is a lower door post replacement, and as you can see, it matches this area here. The rocker panel stops here. This is your door post. This is your lower hinge. So this is where all the rust is getting. There's a nice good rusty hole right there where it's not supposed to be and rotted out. So it rusts over here. Probably not going to survive when you cut it up and take the rocker panel off. We'll show you the rocker panel in a minute. But we got the part here. Die stamped like it's supposed to be, heavy 18 gauge, made by EMS. Now let me grab the rocker panel, and I'll put that over there, and we'll get this other stuff out of the way. As you notice over here, the rocker panel is completely gone, just a little bit on the top. Typical rocker panel. What's interesting here is this is an original rocker. It has not been repaired with one of those cheap eBay scammer slipovers. You have to remember that EMS, we die stamp everything in our own shop with our own big presses and our own complicated tooling. We have our own tool shop. This is an exact replacement. This is not a cheap used car eBay scammer slipover. So this rocker will go right in here. It's going to be cut, the quarter panel rolls out. Rocker overlaps a little bit. You got the doorpost here, and the rocker tucks underneath, tucks behind that, and goes underneath, and the floor pan comes over here. So you got about 6 different parts, maybe 7, because you got the floor brace behind it too, all coming together in this one area. So it's kind of a structural area too. And while we're talking about the floor brace, this is the floor brace, heavy 16 gauge. This is not tissue paper Chinese, that black metal. If you see black metal, it's from China and you got scammed. Call EMS, EMSautomotive.com, or our phone number over here, 248-546-0232. Somebody will call. You can talk to a live person, not a Chinaman, not an eBay scammer, not some unreliable importer. EMSautomotive.com will take care of you. Okay, so we got this heavy duty 16 gauge. It over here it goes underneath the floor pan, but it really goes up underneath over here. It's kind of hard to see because we got it sitting up on some big stands and stuff. So okay, we covered the rocker panel, we covered the lower doorpost piece. We'll review the rocker panel again because I want you to see this edge and this offset here, because that's going to fit up with the floor pan that we're going to talk about here in a second. Now, our floor pans are 18 gauge. They're again manufactured in Detroit, where car parts are supposed to be made. All the grooves, all the divots, all the shapes, offset. It sits in here. I'm going to shove it in there, then get out of the way for the cameraman. And he's going to take a picture of it. Okay, it's sitting on top of it. You see it's right. You see the divots, and you see how it overlaps the rocker. This flange here is going to go under the top of the rocker, and I'm going to grab the rocker panel. That was the cameraman knocking something over. He's laughing about it. Okay, so this part is going to go on top of there. So it overlaps good with heavy 18 gauge. That's 050 material, exactly what they used in 1957. Now look at this. Look how that lines up perfectly. Okay, that lines up there, that groove lines up there, that groove lines up there. It's all in there. It overlaps. Perfect. It's just perfect. EMS Automotive. We got your toe boards too if you need it. I'm going to go grab it while the cameraman takes a look at that. And we got the toe board here. Now, we did not cut out the hole for the column because some of you guys like to use some more tilt wheels or stuff like that. So we left that hole there for you to cut. But here again, 18 gauge, all die stamped like it's supposed to be. Now, we're going to get into the rear floor area. And that's a little bit tricky here because some guys will get confused with the rear floor pan area because of the Ranchero. And to review what we did before is the cab of the Ranchero is the same as the car. So your floor pan is here. They put the bulkhead or the divider between the cab and the cargo area just a little bit behind the back seat. Okay, because there's a little bit of storage. You can put the spare tire back here. So your seat's coming out like this. So this bulkhead is kind of about at the beginning of the back seat if you had a two-door car. Okay, and that sometimes makes the floor pan look a little bit different. Talking about here again, the back seat area. Okay, the back end of the front seat is about here because here's your seat mount. Okay, and it's going back like that in the cushion. So there's a little storage area for a spare tire or jack and whatever. So this bulkhead is at about kind of where the beginning of the back seat would be on a two-door sedan. So we're still using the sedan floor pan. Okay, but it makes it look a little bit different. We get some we get some calls on the phone, which is why we're doing this video, so everybody understands what's going on here. So we're going to take our rear floor pan, 57 Ford, here again, 18 gauge, die stamped in Detroit, and we're the only company that owns its own factories in America. Be careful of other eBay scammers, other people in chat rooms that say they're from Detroit and they do things. Nobody else has their own factories except EMS in Detroit. We're the only ones with a tool shop, R&D center, engineering centers, and production. So what we're looking at here is we got some brackets in the way. So this is your floor, okay? And notice this, I'm going to show you this part. This here, this well, this is the same as this here, okay? Some of the grooves are gone, but here's the bevel down. Here's your two grooves. We'll pull this out of here. Just like here, you got your two grooves there. You see a little bit of this left over here. That's all gone. But here's your curve. Here's this, all to be replaced, okay? And as you saw when we were in the cargo area, this area is accessible when you take out the cargo floor. So you can go back in there, and so this, you can remove this if you want, but I probably, since depends how well, if it's rusted or not, you would just remove it or cut it, or you can cut it here if it's good enough. Just trim this down and weld along here, and it splits. And so this is your floor pan for the Ranchero. It looks a little bit different because it's bigger and a lot of it's hidden behind there. And here again, there's floor braces that go underneath this, all 18 gauge. We have it all. So we can fix up this car to near brand new shape. And what I also want to show you, we got this big stamping here up on top. You got this body feature right there, and we're going to show you where it is on the car. It's right there. We put everything in just like it's supposed to be. So if you only needed a floor pan on one side, you're not going to have a problem fitting it. EMS can do it. We're the only ones because we make everything ourselves to the highest automotive standards. And remember, all of our parts leave the factory with our name on it. So if it doesn't have an EMS name on it, our name and phone number, it's not EMS. Don't let anybody tell you it is because they're lying. We put it on there. If you're not sure, call us. We'll sell it to you. We got, you can buy direct over the telephone. We got a website. They do all the normal website stuff, and it all ships out of the same place. Now we're going to go to the rear quarter panels. Okay, back to our build theory that it was a two-door station wagon based upon the 300 series short wheelbase two-door cars. Okay, here we go. Here's our quarter panel for the front half, and we split it so it's easy. It's easy shipping. You don't want to have that expensive truck freight, and it comes when Mama's at home and she's got to unload some semi truck. You're going to get in trouble when you get home. So UPS will leave it on your porch wherever you want to deliver it. Okay, the features here. There's a body concave feature here. There's a feature here. This is all on our parts. I'll show you in a minute. The seam between the rocker and the quarter is actually here. It is not here, it is here. And I'll show you on our newer part right here. Just like this, it extends a little bit past the door jamb, and that's done for a variety of design reasons and production issues, but it's done there. We have the groove stamped in there. We have the offset so you can tuck it underneath, and you got a little bit extra so it lines up if you happen to have a good rocker. Not likely, because this all goes back and forth. Now, some eBay scammers are out there trying to sell a long rocker panel. There is no such thing, okay? The rocker panel, as made by Ford, goes from doorpost to doorpost like the way we make it. This is the way it's made as designed by Ford. There is no such thing as a long rocker. A long rocker is somebody who's doing some scam They can't make a quarter panel and can't make a rocker, so they're trying to get you thinking that you're going to save money, and it isn't. We've got the contours, we've got the ribs, we've got the offset, 18 gauge, not Chinese tissue paper. Okay, it goes in here. It has it all. It splits at the middle of the wheel. Like I said, cheap, easy UPS shipping. Here again, as you saw it fit over there, it has all of this contours, all of this, and like I said, we got a deep flange like it's supposed to be, so if you really wanted to run skirts, you can. Watch out for the cheap stuff. Here again, no rust on our panels. Our panels are shipped rust-free. Always will be. And if it happens to get damaged in shipping, EMS guarantees it. We will replace it. So we're going to go back to the rear quarter over here. Here again, following the features. Little problem here. This car was hit in the back, so we got a little noogie over here. But notice this. Notice the shape. Notice how this fades out. Very hard to do in tooling is a fade out of a body line to make sure it all fits. But we look at our EMS quarter panel. There we go. We're fitting right over there. You see all, it's laying over the top. I'm holding it. We got an offset flange. We got a flange here so you can meet it up with the front piece. We got a flange to tuck underneath. If you want to butt weld it, hey, go right ahead. Cut it off. You can do whatever makes you happy. We make the parts to make it fit. Here again, 18 gauge. Die stamped in Michigan. We got the inner quarter panel behind us if you need it. Not a problem. We have it, just ask. But this is the way the quarter panels work for the Ranchero.